Hi, VirtForce. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful Monday here in St. Augustine, Florida. Where are you listening in? And we're already having so much action in our chat today. New Bern, North Carolina, El Paso, Texas, Del Rio, Texas. Hey, from Jacksonville. I got to bring you on screen. I'm in Jacksonville too. Good to see you, SC. Hello, Lisa from Macon. Hi, Rachel. Hey, Emily in Montgomery. Good to see you. We have got a lot of people popping in the chat. Alaska, California, Canada, Virginia Beach, Pennsylvania, Emerald Coast, Florida. Hello, I see all of you. Well, I am Kimber. If you don't know me, I am your Mill Spouse bestie, and I'm the founder of VirtForce and founder of Duty Station Download. And we are so excited to chat with you today to kick off our first ever VirtForce monitored and sponsored boot camp with Intuit. This is going to be a really cool experience over the next 6 weeks. So let me bring everybody up to speed on where we are. First, we are using a platform called Restream to talk to you today on a few different social media platforms. So what we want to do is make sure that if you want your identity shared as we're talking to you, that you approve us to share your identity. You just have to click chat.restream.io and just say, yes, it's okay for VirtForce to see my user profile. This is primarily relevant for people who are on Facebook because as you can see, you're just coming in as Facebook user from Tennessee and I don't know who you are, so I can't address you by name. If you click that link, if you'll bring that up on screen for me one more time, Michelle, chat.restream.io/Facebook, and I'm dropping that in the chat for you now. We will be able to see you and address you personally. Thank you so much, Michelle, for dropping that in the chat for us. So this is the live kickoff of our exclusive bookkeeping camp, Bookkeeping Boot Camp with Intuit and the VirtForce leadership team. I've got a lot of questions in the past week of how is the boot camp different from the course? The boot camp is not coursework. The boot camp is like a group of us coming together, scheduling and planning a 6-week study hall to walk you through the boot camp and make sure that you are guided and you have the absolute most support possible while you're preparing and while you're testing and while you're getting certified. So that's what the boot camp is. And of course, this is absolutely free. There's no charge to take this boot camp. There's no charge to take the course. I wanted to cover those 2 questions that have been really hot over the past few weeks. So again, this is a 6-week process where we are going to guide you through Intuit Academy's bookkeeping course. And the bookkeeping course, why are we doing this? It takes you from zero goose egg experience to actually qualifying to be a QuickBooks Live bookkeeper with Intuit in only 40 hours, okay? That's a big deal. You know, I can get on the soapbox about finding career progression and finding career continuity for hours on the topic of becoming a bookkeeper and learning from Intuit. So if you have not signed up already, we do want you to click this link now. Michelle's going to bring it on screen. And she's going to put it in the chat to sign up and make sure you are in our boot camp. Now, being in the boot camp is different from being registered from the course. Being in the boot camp means you're going to get boot camp emails, you're going to get connected to our boot camp instructors, and you're going to get our boot camp syllabus. All of that is going to be emailed to you. So you're fully supported by the VirtForce leadership team while you're walking through the QuickBooks course. And feel free to drop your reactions and questions in the chat. The chat is fully monitored. I've got VirtForce people. I've got Intuit people. Like all of your questions are going to get answered today. We are all systems go. So what I want to do right now is let you see our guest line up. Our first person that we have to speak today is Mira. Mira is going to say hello while I introduce her. She is the program administrator for Intuit Academy's bookkeeping course. She has a strong background in online education and a passion for helping others on their career journey. And Mira is our direct Intuit guide and liaison through the QuickBooks coursework that we're going to be studying together in the boot camp. Hi, Mira. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much. We also have Tessa Eubanks in the chat. Tessa is sick today, so we are going to let her answer all questions from the chat. Let me tell you a little bit about Tessa. She is an active duty Navy spouse. Go Navy. She's also the QuickBooks Live recruiter. So any questions that you have about the hiring process, starting from applying, going through your interview, doing your hire view interview, which all of that takes place after you've completed this course and after you've become certified, she can answer those questions for you. In fact, in our Coffee and Connect last week, we had a military spouse who was stuck in her application process at Intuit. She asked a question during the Coffee and Connect, and by the end of the Coffee and Connect, had already been connected to a recruiter, had the problem solved, and was moving and progressing to the next step in her hiring process. So Tessa is a really valuable source of information and is very, very helpful for our military spouses. And then we have the VirtForce leadership team with us, and I want to take a second to introduce them. All right, I clicked the button and it didn't work. There you are. Hi. First, we have First, we have Felicia Valle. She is the VirtForce talent manager. She is working in liaison with Jenna. There you are, Jenna. Good to see you. Who is VirtForce's community manager. So these two have been in project and in collaboration with Mira to build a VirtForce boot camp, guiding you through the Intuit QuickBooks certification course and with Mira. So the three of them are a trio, and they're going to be helping you over the next 6 weeks. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. I'll go ahead and pop you guys off screen. Thank you. All right. So while we are getting everyone loaded in and getting the live stream going, we're going to do a quick icebreaker. And that icebreaker is, first of all, did you know that this month is Military Appreciation Month? And more specifically, May 12th is Military Spouse Appreciation Day. So first of all, did you know that? If this is news to you, raise your hand. If you knew that, give me a heart in the chat. Second of all, my question for you is there anything special happening at your base or in your social groups that you're doing to celebrate that? I would really love to hear it. One thing we are doing here at NAS Jax is I am going to the USO and I am teaching a launching LinkedIn course to our local military spouses. And we are personally sponsoring a headshot photographer to come out and take headshots of our military spouses for their LinkedIn profiles. So share with me what's going on. I want to see how you guys are celebrating, how you're participating. And I see Laura says that they're having a luncheon. Let's see here. Charlotte needs technical support. Lots of brunch options for you guys. I'm so happy to hear that. And I want to encourage you to participate, get involved with what's going on. Get out there, get out of your house, go spend some time and enjoy the appreciation luncheons that everyone is doing. Yes, April was Military Child Appreciation Month. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into kicking off our boot camp today. All right, so I know about 300 attendees registered for the boot camp after our Coffee and Connect. We had almost 400 people in our Coffee and Connect last week. Thank you guys for participating. So I want to hit some key highlights if you are just now learning about this bookkeeping course and this is new for you. The key highlights here is why is bookkeeping important and why is it so relevant for military spouses? Why did we create the learning opportunity for you? So my first takeaway that I want you to remember is that every business needs a bookkeeper, right? Every business needs someone who can give them insight into the financial health and wellness of their company. So this is a really great career option that military spouses can take anywhere, even if you get stationed overseas. And we do know that Intuit does not hire overseas, but we do know that boutique accounting and bookkeeping firms do. And Intuit has set the bar with QuickBooks Live as far as QuickBooks Live and the QuickBooks application, which is what you're learning in this course, a part of what you're learning in this course. That is the bar that's been set across corporate America for how we do bookkeeping. Of course, there are competitors to QuickBooks, but QuickBooks is the most well-known hard skill you can develop. So bookkeepers are more than just data entry clerks. So if someone tells you, oh, I just need someone to come in and enter receipts into my business, that is not quite bookkeeping, right? You're more than just doing receipt entry. You shed light on the health and wellness of the business. And so here is a really fun statistic that our team identified when we were prepping for this boot camp. You guys know we carry about 30 positions a month, sometimes more, on the VirtForce recruitment arsenal at jobs.virtforce.us. If you're not browsing there, that's the web address, jobs.virtforce.us. We carry about 30 positions a month, okay? 70% of those positions typically require experience or knowledge of the QuickBooks platform. So you are doing yourself a huge service by joining this boot camp. So let me give you a little bit of backstory on Intuit Academy before we bring Mira back on. Many military spouses wanted to work for Intuit. We partnered with them in 2019, but the biggest gap that we found was we know that this demographic would prosper and excel and have retention at Intuit and that it would be a great career match. But there was a gap between being able to qualify to work for Intuit and then having the career at Intuit that every military spouse is interested in. So in collaboration with Intuit, they realized there was a need to help military spouses gain the experience to get hired, right? So then that is when the free bookkeeping skills course was released. And you guys probably remember, if you've been following VirtForce for a while, we sent out an email that almost broke our Facebook group and broke our applicant tracking system. But we notified you that Intuit was releasing the course that would cancel 1 year of the required bookkeeping experience. How does it do that? It takes mil spouses with zero work experience, zero education, zero bookkeeping experience, and through processing them through 40 hours of education, having them pass the end of course exam, and then become QuickBooks Pro certified, they are then qualified to be a remote bookkeeper at Intuit. Okay, so I mean, we're literally taking you from nothing to a career opportunity in 6 weeks. So that's amazing, and I want to give a huge thank you to the Intuit team and get Mira on screen for us now. I want to give everyone an opportunity to hear and learn from Mira. Mira helped create the bookkeeping program on Intuit Academy. And I do want to just briefly state that if you did the bookkeeping program on Coursera, it's no longer on Coursera. We're talking about the bookkeeping program within Intuit Academy. I hope that addresses any immediate questions. Mira, can you talk to us a little bit about how the bookkeeping program changed since VirtForce first introduced it?
Definitely. So just a quick introduction about Intuit Academy. It's a great opportunity for tax or bookkeeping professionals like yourselves, either early in your career journey or those looking to advance in your career, to hone your skills and keep competitive in today's job market. The Intuit Academy platform is highly interactive, so you can navigate how you want to learn and at your own pace for free. So for bookkeeping specifically, If you are interested in our bookkeeping pathway, we now offer a bookkeeping course as well as a bookkeeping exam, which is recently launched on Intuit. As mentioned, this course was previously held on Coursera for a fee, but now we offer both the course and exam for free at no cost on Intuit Academy. The content is the same on Coursera and Intuit Academy, so don't fret if you've already taken it on Coursera. You do not have to repeat it on Intuit Academy. This course will give you an overview of accounting principles and an introduction to QuickBooks Online with hands-on practice in real-world accounting scenarios. You do not need a degree or any prior experience to enroll for our program.
Thank you so much for hitting those highlights, Mira. I'm going to ask you one additional question about this course to bring everyone up to speed before we actually kick off the boot camp, because you guys who are here, all 200 plus of you who are here, we are kicking off our boot camp today. We're going through the syllabus. We're starting. Mira, can you talk to our attendees here about what they can expect, the time commitment, and the process of going through the course?
Definitely. So there's about 16 modules that make up this course, and I'm approximating it would take about 40 hours to finish. 40 hours is my very conservative number. You're taking your time, rewatching a few videos, you have no experience at all. I have heard, though, that people have taken this program a lot faster than 40 hours. Once you finish the course, you will be able to complete 4 objectives. First one is managing the accounting cycle and work with key financial statements. Track assets and produce statements for complex business situations. Understand different types of liability and learn to account for changes in equity. And the 4th learning objective is interpret and analyze statements to inform business decisions. Now, if you think you have enough experience and you don't want to take the content, you can always go ahead and jump right into the 15-minute exam. The content is not required to take before you do the exam. You do get 2 attempts to take the exam. And if you do not pass in those 2 attempts, you do have to wait for 6 months. You can review the content again. And after 6 months, you can retry the exam as well. I hope that helps.
I
I think
love
I saw a
that.
question about.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's
So I just
see.
wanted
I
to address
think,
that.
go ahead.
There was a question about if I'm already taking the content on Coursera, do I have to stop midway and switch over to Intuit Academy? The content is exactly the same. So I would say, just so you're not confusing your learning experience, if you already Coursera, go ahead and just complete it. You're already familiar with, and once you've completed the course, whether it's on Coursera or Intuit Academy, please come back to Intuit Academy to.
Yes, because the exam will be free at Intuit Academy.
That's correct.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mira. So a few takeaways there. If you've already done Coursera and you think that maybe you don't need to go through the 40 hours of education again, you can come over to Intuit Academy and just test. Let's see here. One other thing is that there are 16 total modules, and Mira said that it's possible to finish in less than 40 hours. So I'm interested in knowing who here is like a major overachiever. I don't know if that's you or not, but give me a hands up in the chat and a high five in the chat if you feel like you could finish it in under 40 hours. I'm just curious. I am not. I am the slow-paced. If you give me a course that's at your own pace, I'm going to go very tediously through it. I see some people who are like, me, that's me. It's good to see this. But regardless, for those of you who don't work quickly, I'm seeing a ton of hands go up in the chat, like I work super quickly. Regardless of whether you work quickly or you work slowly, VirtForce has designed a syllabus, and Jenna and Mira came together to work together on this. I'm going to go ahead and bring the VirtForce leadership team on now. They've come together to work on this syllabus to guide everyone through it. So if you want to work independently, work independently. If you want to use the syllabus and work independently, do it. Regardless, we are here to support you, and we've taken the time to break down the content even further so that we can meet together as a team and as a study hall to go through it. So what I'd like to do now is let Jenna share a few details before we chat with Felicia any further about remote job opportunities at Intuit. So Jenna, can you walk us through what the boot camp is going to look like, and starting with today's session that we're doing live here on social media?
Thank you, Kimber. First, let me go ahead and say thank you, everyone, for taking the leap and joining us with our Bookkeeping Boot Camp. We're so excited to have you here. As we've mentioned a few times, this course is going to take about 6 weeks. What's going to happen today is you're going to receive an email. It's going to be called a recap email, and it's going to come from Kimber at VirtForce.io. So go ahead, remember that, Kimber at VirtForce.io today, where it's going to share a few links with you. First, it's going to share the Intuit Academy link, and you should have already received that, but we're sending it again just in case. The next thing you're going to receive is the link to the bookkeeping course itself. And then it's also going to share the syllabus for our course. And what you want to do is go ahead and download that syllabus right away. This week, we are going to cover the first 4 modules, which talk all about accounting principles and the accounting cycle itself. What I love about these first few courses too is it really gives you that big overall picture about what's going on and what happens in the bookkeeping and accounting cycle. And it gets you in QuickBooks Online immediately too, so you can start having that real world practice and training. Okay, I shared those. Let's see. Also, what's going to be shared in the email is a Zoom meeting link. We're going to have weekly bootcamp sessions. That's going to happen each Monday, again via Zoom at 1:30, and it's going to be about 45 minutes long. It's going to be Felicia and I walking you through the course, answering any questions that you may have. And then finally, one thing I do want to share, which won't be included in the email, when you go ahead and study, let's plan for like 1 hour each day. We want you to take everything in, absorb it, and then really just allow yourself to retain that knowledge. That's going to help you. But again, if, like Kimber was talking about earlier, if you're someone that goes through the course quickly, you can do that. If you're like Felicia and myself, where we need a little more time now that there's lots of kids hanging on us, plan for that hour so that way you can take everything in that you learned during that time.
Thank you so much, Jenna. So do you or Felicia want to share your syllabus, kind of show us what that initial email is going to look like? There's a link on screen here. Can you tell us about what this link is?
Sure, absolutely. So this link that you're seeing right here is the link itself to sign up for Intuit Academy. You'll go to that and you'll create your account name. And after that, then you'll have the opportunity to go into Intuit Academy and enroll for the bookkeeping course itself. And we also have a link for that. I don't know if Michelle can bring that up. There. Okay, perfect. Well, that's the syllabus. And so that's going to be right there. If you go to VF-BK syllabus, that's going to be our syllabus each there. We've broken it down into the 6 weeks. And let's see. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about it. So you're going to see in there the plan for each week that we're going to go over. It's going to tell you which modules to take. We're moving you through the course sequentially because we're coming at it from a standpoint of individuals coming from different backgrounds. So no matter what your background or experience is with bookkeeping, if you start with the courses that we've laid out to you for week 1, that's going to take you from that zero knowledge base, like you've said before, Kimber, and move you all the way to being experienced and having that great knowledge base. Each week there's a new page. So what you can do is you can flip through each sheet of the syllabus itself, and it's going to tell you what courses to go ahead and complete for the week. And you'll complete those before we then meet up at our Zoom meeting each week on Mondays. Also, there's going to be information within the syllabus where you're able to jot down your notes and also keep questions, because inevitably those questions are going to come up. And not only can you keep those and ask those within our Zoom meeting, one other thing that we're going to have as a way to help help ensure your success is that we have a private WhatsApp group where we'll all be able to join. Felicia and I will be answering your questions, and we'll be able to provide encouragement to each other.
I love having the WhatsApp pod because you can ask a question at any point in time, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Jenna, I have a question for you. Can you explain the distinction between the course, the end of course exam, and the certification?
Sure, that's a good one. Okay, so we have that all designated in our syllabus as well, but the course itself is the study material, or if, say, for example, you are in school again, the course itself is your book. It's your material, your source material that you're pulling from. Okay. The end of course exam is the exam you're going to take to get your digital badge to say that you have bookkeeping skills. And then after you complete that, we're going to give you a week in the syllabus to then study up and take a certification for QuickBooks Pro Advisor. That is the platform of using QuickBooks itself, QuickBooks Live, or QuickBooks Align, excuse me, where you're going to make sure that you have the skills needed to do your bookkeeping job within QuickBooks Online. So that Pro Advisor cert is going to be slightly different. You're focusing on there again, making sure you have the knowledge to operate within QuickBooks Online.
All right. And Lindsay Gardner asks, are the videos going to be able to be replayed? And she's asking from YouTube.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to record all of our sessions. We're going to send them in a recap email to everyone that's part of our boot camp.
Yeah, and I want to be clear there that our boot camps we're doing today on live stream to help get the word out and just to generate excitement about this really cool thing that we're doing. But the boot camps will be meeting on Zoom. So do you have to attend the Zoom meeting? You don't have to be at the Zoom meeting each week because Jenna and Felicia will be putting together a really strong recap email to send out the recording of what happened in the boot camp. I do encourage you to know what the modules for the week are and complete the modules before the Zoom so that if you have questions, you can email Jenna and say, Jenna, I'm not going to be in Zoom tonight, but here are the questions that I had about module 2. Module 2 like really threw me for a loop. Can you get these answered? And then Jenna can prepare to make sure that those questions are answered in the Zoom meeting and you'll have the recording sent to you. Let's see here. So for everybody who wants to start out, and then after this, I'd like Felicia to talk to us about the employment opportunity at Intuit. But for everyone who wants to start today, can we get the sign up link to Intuit Academy? So there are 2 sign up links. The first one is to join our boot camp so that you're on Jenna's email list. You're invited to the WhatsApp. You get our syllabus, all of that stuff. And then the second is to actually go sign up for Intuit Academy and get into the course. Can we get both of those brought on screen? Let's first do the one to join our bootcamp. And then Jenna, can you briefly tell us what are this week's modules to execute?
Sure. So the first 4 modules, the first 4 modules that we're going to execute today is accounting principles. We're also going to talk about the accounting cycle. There's 2 parts to it. So we're going to talk about the accounting cycle. And then the last one is, is accounting principles again. So we're going to talk about the overall picture of what it means to be a bookkeeper. And again, what it looks like throughout the whole cycle when a small business owner, when a business owner gives you their books and says, we need to make sure everything's accounted for. You're going to see what happens at the beginning all the way through the end and that whole life cycle.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Felicia, can you talk to us a little bit about working at Intuit and the opportunities to apply for Intuit once you first complete the course and test out of the course, then second become certified in QuickBooks?
Of course. So At the end of our boot camp, we're actually going to talk about all of this. We are going to invite Intuit's QuickBook Live recruiter back to join us live, and you get to engage with the recruiter and have a way to connect directly to the recruitment team. But so that we can talk about it today, not only do you get to do this live in person at the end of a boot camp, you'll get the chance to be fast tracked, sort of, in a way, by being put in their pipeline, so to speak. With Intuit Academy, you get the chance to get all of this prep and get all of this information. And even though at this time they're not necessarily hiring right now, they are actively interviewing. And when you get the chance to meet with their team and actively participate with their team, as Kimber was saying earlier today, that leaves a lasting impact. So what we're trying to do is connect you directly to this team, right? So the positions that they have is typically front office and back office. Now, you get the chance to set your own hours. You get to work with a plethora of small businesses with Intuit and work on their books, right? So you get cross-functional industry experience in bookkeeping, which I think is a massive perk to this job. You get the ability to use customer-facing skills and to explain and showcase your knowledge, your skills, your abilities that you actually learned and showcased and grew from this boot camp.
Thank you so much. What I really like about what we're doing in the boot camp is we're making sure that you have support through passing the end of course exam, but that you also have support and guidance to go past the QuickBooks Pro Advisor exam. Now, the QuickBooks recruitment team has told us several times that you do not have to have the QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification to apply. However, it does very much improve your chances of moving through the application process faster when you are already certified before you meet with a recruiter. So our goal is to make sure that you apply as soon as you pass the exam, and then we immediately push you through the QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification, which is about an additional 8 hours, so that by the time you have your interview, by the time you're on the phone with the recruiter, you can inform them that not only have you passed the exam that erases 1 year of required work experience, but that you're also certified in the QuickBooks platform. So you are literally ready to go. If you are a culture fit and a culture match, there's nothing holding them back from making you an offer that day.
Exactly.
Awesome. So I'm going to take a moment here and make sure that we answer all of the questions that we can that are coming through the chat. I'm just going to address we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn right now. So if you don't see these questions in your chat, that doesn't mean that they're not there. And I am going to lean on my team and the Intuit team to make sure we're getting the correct answers here. Let's see here. All right, so I'll take this one. Christina Poulins asks, should I fill out the bookkeeping interest form if I still live in Japan? Or just wait till I'm back in the States? I'm going to PCS end of October. Okay, let's think about this. It's already May 8th. Take the exam. Fill out the form. I don't know, Christina, if you need the education or not. I would complete the course. I would complete the exam. I would get the certification and go ahead and put myself in the application pipeline, because the worst thing that could happen is you meet with a recruiter, they want to hire you, and you say, I won't be back for 60 days. Or the worst thing that could happen is you leave Japan a little early to go start a job back in the United States. That's just, that's the worst. So I would go ahead and get in the pipeline. There's no reason to exclude yourself. And for those of you who are living overseas, do this, because finance and bookkeeping is portable. It's one of the most portable career options you can take. Intuit hires in Alaska and Hawaii. They do not currently hire in Guam or Puerto Rico, but we have elevated those two locations, Guam and Puerto Rico. We've escalated that to the Intuit team, and they're taking it to their higher ups. So we don't know what could change there in the future. Anything could change. But ultimately, CONUS plus Alaska and Hawaii, you can work for Intuit. With this certification, with these credentials, there are plenty of other organizations, companies, even starting your own business where you can do bookkeeping while you're overseas in other countries. So this is a great option for you. All right, Mary asks, my Coursera certificate has an expiration, and I think this is probably going to be a question for Mira. So Mira, if you are able, I would love to bring you right back on. My Coursera certificate has an expiration date, and does that mean I will need to complete it again in October when it expires?
Great question. I think if you could email us, let me take a look at this. I wasn't aware that the Coursera certificate has an expiration date, so let me check in with the Coursera support team. Our email address is intuit_academy@intuit.com. I'll repeat that. Intuit_academy@intuit.com.
And
so if you could just send us your email address as well as maybe a screenshot of the Coursera certificate so I can see the expiration date, I'll reach out to the Coursera team and get back to you.
thank you so much, Mary. I hope that helps you. Facebook user says, where do I go to sign up? There are two places. Michelle, can you bring those on screen for us really quick? First, you're going to go to the bit.ly to join our boot camp to make sure you're kind of in our little boot camp club. So when we're meeting once a week, you're included. You get the Zoom recaps. I will say in our Zooms, we are going to be bringing Intuit experts in, not for every single Zoom meeting, but for several of them. So they will actually be there to answer your questions. You definitely want to be in our boot camp. So there's the link there. And then the next link is where you go to register for the course. And Michelle, you can switch over to that one now. You will actually sign up for the course here. Okay, thank you so much. One moment, just getting down to the next question. All right, the next question is, what if we don't do WhatsApp? Jenna or Felicia, do you guys want to answer that?
That's okay. That's okay. It's just an extra source for encouragement, an extra source to crowdsource questions and answers. You'll have mine and Felicia's email addresses, so you can message us with questions, and you'll still receive support via the emails that we send weekly. And also, if you message us directly, you'll have that support as well, and the recaps of the Zoom events as well.
Yes. All right, I didn't get an email about this. Was I supposed to sign up for the emails? Yeah, sort of. We want to meet you where you are. And the best way for us to do that is if you tell us that you're interested, because we won't be live streaming this boot camp over social media every time we do it, right? We're going to be meeting on Zoom. So let's see here. Facebook user, I can't see your name or who you are, but one more time. One more time. Michelle, can you bring the sign up link back on screen? You guys, these comments are flooding in from multiple platforms, so excuse me while I adjust my eyes to pick the next question. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for pulling that on. And then Michelle Freeberg says that her Coursera does not have an expiration date. So that's interesting. I know we've kind of got that side conversation going.
Definitely,
How do we sign up for the WhatsApp group? Go ahead.
No worries. Sorry. Previous question. Yeah, you're right. I was not aware of an expiration date, so I will definitely take a look at your question when you send us an email.
Thank you. So Jenna, do you want to cover how the WhatsApp group is actually joined? If you want to get into the WhatsApp chat on what we're doing.
Sure. So if you already have a WhatsApp account, all you need to do is go to your mobile device and go actually into your internet browser, type in that link. It's a long link. I apologize. We weren't able to shorten it since it's a branded link. But that is the link to join our private group. The second you select it, you'll have the opportunity to then join it once you go into WhatsApp. And then you are all set. You're good to go.
Thank you. Mira, would you like to talk about eligibility for the program as a whole? We had a question, which is this program just for military spouses? And I will answer absolutely not. It's not just for military spouses. We support veterans and we support the full VirtForce community. But Mira may be also able to talk about demographics that we don't typically address at VirtForce since we're so military spouse focused.
Definitely. Yeah, so Intuit Academy is for anyone. No prerequisites. You can come from any background. Just anyone who's interested in starting a career in tax or bookkeeping, we offer programs for you.
Thank you so much. And then we had some positive comments. One of our Facebook users says, I'm so interested. And again, if you guys have questions for the Intuit team or the VirtForce team, now is the time to get them answered. Let's see here. Is it okay if we get halfway through and think, oh, this may not be for me? Would I need to notify anyone? Jenna, do you want to take that one?
Sure, absolutely. You know what? If you decide it's not for you, that's okay. That's life, right? Sometimes we go down certain paths and decide it's not for us. You don't need to notify us. You can email me if you don't want to receive the emails anymore, so we'll take you off of that. Otherwise, you don't need to notify us. I will say, though, having taken half of the course, you've obviously gained a bunch of bookkeeping skills. So keep that in mind should you need a skill to add to your resume, because that will be quite a skill to include on your resume.
McKenna Eldridge asks, how difficult is the exam with no experience? And Mira is probably the best one to speak to this, but she could also give us some insight into how many times you can take the exam and what the requirements are on passing.
Definitely. So the entire program, Content Plus Exam, was written for someone with no experience. So you can take the content. It's about 15 minutes to take the exam. You do have 2 attempts. So even if the first time you do not pass, you can always go back to the content, review the material, which you just wanted to look at it again and try again one more time. If you don't pass in 2 attempts, there is a 6-month cool-off period. So during that time, you can refresh the content. If you would like to gain some experience during that time, you can. And you can always come back and take the exam 6 months later.
Thank you. I think it's important to note that there is a window there that you have to acknowledge if you don't pass initially. So I don't encourage the strategy of just tackle the exam until you pass it without going through the coursework. All right. SB asks, I just joined, a few questions. Do you need experience and what is the cost? I'm so glad that you asked this, especially toward the end of the live stream, because this is one of the first things that we like to talk about. There is no cost for this program, and you need no experience to go through the program. It does take you from 0 experience to qualifying to work for Intuit. A job is not promised, but your credentials and how you qualify to be a bookkeeper at Intuit, that is what is taken care of if you pass the exam and you become certified at the end of the exam. It is a 40-hour course, and our boot camp is designed to take you through those 40 hours in a very manageable chunks over the course of 6 weeks. You can finish it faster. We're just all living some very busy lives and wanted to space it out in something that was a little bit more manageable. Laura asks, after getting certified, will we be able to get a job or will we still struggle to get to get a job. Most Intuit jobs I've seen ask for 2 or more years of experience. Mira, do you want to speak to this? Or maybe Felicia?
I can speak to this one. So again, this qualifies you for the role. You're still going to have to be a culture fit. You're still going to have to go through the interview process and everything. However, when you're doing your application, you have to remember to check that box. This cancels your need for that 1 year of experience. So after going through the course, passing the exam, and receiving the badge, you'll be able to apply and check that box saying, I do have a year of experience now, so I can apply, stating my year of experience is this coursework. Does that make sense?
It does to me. Yes.
Thank
you. Michelle asks, I did complete the course on Coursera. So she's finished the 40 hours, but she didn't take the exam and now she's in the middle of a PCS. Should I wait to take the exam until I reach my new duty station? I have an idea. I think you should wait to take the exam until you reach your new duty station. And in the meantime, you should come to our bootcamp meetups once a week. So that way you are staying refreshed on the content and the topic, but you're also not putting yourself in a stressful situation while you're already going through a stressful situation, which is relocating. Does anyone else want to weigh in for Michelle?
I agree. PCSing is stressful. Taking an exam, that can be really stressful. On top of that is probably going to be one of those tipping points where you're going to feel like, oh, this isn't for me, throw my hands up in the air. Whereas coming to the boot camps where you're in that sort of camaraderie situation is going to make you feel supported and helped along the way while still gaining that additional insight and knowledge and help with the content. So I'm right there with Kimber on this one.
Melody asks, do you earn some type of certificate? Jenna, do you want to take this one?
Sure. So what you're going to receive is a badge that says that you have gone through the bookkeeping course at Intuit. It's something, and it's also a digital badge that you can add immediately to your LinkedIn profile, which I love. So that way, as soon as recruiters, employers come to your profile, they'll be able to see that you've taken and successfully completed this course.
Does anyone here put your hand up or throw an emoji in the chat if you have seen digital badges added to LinkedIn profiles before? And you can give me a star if you personally have one. I think it's the neatest thing. It's the coolest visual representation of an accomplishment that we can do on a platform like LinkedIn. And so I love that we're getting that. And I think Zora Fozzie is a good example of what it looks like. Maybe Michelle could put Zora's LinkedIn profile in the chat now. Yeah, you're so welcome, Melody. Zora, we actually did a full success story with her, and she went through this program and she did get the badge. If I'm not mistaken, Jenna checked and she does display that on her LinkedIn. Beautiful. P.S. You guys need to come to one of my LinkedIn trainings. We're going to be planning sort of like a live stream LinkedIn boot camp so I can show you how to do that and what it looks like. If you don't know how, you can also YouTube it if you're confused on how to do that. But I just love that they're doing that. So thank you for clarifying, Jenna. And then also there is the certification for the Pro Advisor. All right. All right. Lauren Crotty asks, if you have accounting experience, will you be able to apply for positions other than entry level?
That would depend on the type of experience that you have. So that would be where we would probably have you apply and see where exactly you would fit. So what your specific experience is, have you talked to a recruiter and see, do you need to take a tax class? Do you need to take a bookkeeping course? What specific experience do you have?
Yes. I also bet Tessa probably has something to add on this in the chat, because I think it would likely also depend on what positions are open, right? And I bet, if I had to guess, Tessa's probably going to tell you to have a conversation with your recruiter, with the person who talks to you in your interview about being interested in other positions. Tessa, I'm going to throw another one at you here. Can you talk about, in the chat, we're going to ask you to paste this in the chat. Can you talk about career progression at Intuit and Intuit's tendency to recruit from within and promote from within? And then we can read that aloud for you too. All right, let's see here. I am potentially losing track of our questions that are coming in, so I'm going to lean on Michelle here to help me make sure I'm catching them, catching the next one. So where I think we are is Laura Nguyen. And then it keeps rotating to the very bottom question. So let me see. Michelle, let me lean on you to bring the next one up on screen. Thank you. We've answered that one. Do you have to attend the Zoom meeting? Nope, you do not have to attend the Zoom meeting. It will be recorded and will be sent out. What do we need to get the email? I think that you're talking about the VirtForce email, where we are including you in the boot camp and we are including you in the boot camp study halls. That is going to be accomplished by clicking this link or typing that link in your web browser and then filling out the form. And I'll have Michelle drop that link in the chat right now. All right. I thought I heard at the beginning of this live webcast that there is a hiring freeze, or maybe Intuit is not currently hiring. Can you elaborate on that? I would love to let Felicia speak to this too, but Tessa can also chime in the comments, because Tessa has her finger on the pulse of what's going on at Intuit. I don't think hiring freeze is the right word at all. So Felicia, let you correct that.
No, that's not a hiring freeze. They're not in a hiring cycle right now. So what they're doing is they are actively interviewing. They have hiring coming up in the next couple months. And so they are actively interviewing, putting everybody in a hot pipeline. And as those open roles come, the hot pipeline gets contacted first. And those candidates who've already gone through the interview and are ready to get hired are the first people who are contacted. So it's not a hiring freeze. It's nothing along those lines at all. It is just as they are getting through those roles and they are filling them, they're going on to those next ready to fill roles as they come available. So no hiring freeze. It's just not an active role currently, something coming available in the next couple months. Okay.
Yes. Tessa also wanted to add that Intuit makes it a priority to promote internally before posting jobs externally. So for bookkeeping specifically, there are levels of bookkeeping you are considered for when you interview. Going back to the timing of this course, we intentionally worked with Intuit to make sure that this course would be released so that you would have plenty of time to take the course, test out of the course, pass the course, and then certify in QuickBooks so that you would be ready for the next wave of hiring that comes through. So now is the perfect time to be getting this education. All right, let's see here. Priscilla asks, if I already completed the Coursera certification, can I get Intuit Academy to take exam? I was waiting for voucher, but was not able to receive it. Absolutely. So Mira talked about this earlier. Mira, if you want to speak to it again, you can definitely test on the other platform. Go ahead, Mira.
Definitely, thank you. So the content on Academy and Coursera is exactly the same. So you can take the content on the platform. It is free on Intuit Academy. Just after it's done, come to Intuit Academy to take the exam. There is no voucher. The content is self-paced. The exam is about 50 minutes to take. So just go to Intuit Academy, sign up to take the exam, and you can just go for it 100% online.
Thank you. Thank you, Mira. And our next question is from Caitlin. If I was previously offered a position with Intuit that didn't work out, am I eligible to apply for this role? And that's going to be a question likely for Tessa, unless someone else has the answer. And we can come back to this question while we let Tessa kind of collect a response there. And just as a reminder, you guys, Tessa is on. She's reading all of these comments. She's just very sick today, so we're giving her the opportunity to participate in the chat. And we'll come back to that question. Let's go ahead and move on. Tessa says you are welcome to reapply. So yes, please reapply. Facebook user asks, does bookkeeping and QuickBooks cover the tax course too? I love that you asked this question. Mira, do you want to chat about this? Because you're involved. You're quite involved with the development here.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for bookkeeping, this program is focused primarily on bookkeeping, but Intuit Academy does have another program called Tax Level 1, Tax Level 2, and we have specialties in tax for cryptocurrency and equity compensation. So my suggestion is, if you've already taken the book, you're kind of looking for new material, go ahead and come back to the Intuit Academy site, and you can sign up for one of our other tax programs for free.
Thank you. All right, teaser, just like we're doing this bookkeeping boot camp, we're going to do a tax boot camp later this year. So if you want to boot camp with us through tax, do it. If you want to sign up and do tax on your own now, do it for sure on your own. But if you want to boot camp with us in, Felicia, what month are we doing? Are we starting? Is it July?
I think so.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I am not good with calendar management. This is not my forte. Yes, I think so. I think it is July.
We don't have to go there. We don't have to get into strengths and weaknesses.
I'm not good at dates.
Okay. Well, I tell you, 90% of the time I'm on Kimber time, so I'm not good with that either. But yeah, we are going to be boot camping late summer to prep you for the tax season. So again, these dates have been very intentionally selected based on the hiring cycles for Intuit. We know that in the fall, Intuit needs tax talent. So in the late summer, we're going to be boot camping you guys through the tax courses. If you're interested in tax, you need to go get work experience, because the course that we will walk you through, once you complete it, you still need a year of work experience. If you need help with that, email hire@virtforce.us. We will look at your duty station. We'll see where you're located, and we will put you in touch with a local office who can help provide you some tax work experience. So our next question is, for our first Zoom meeting next Monday, will we be discussing the first 4 modules discussed earlier, or does that start week 2? I'm going to let you answer.
Okay. So starting today, we want you guys to dive right into week 1. Week 1 content is this week. Those first 4 modules are this week, and we'll talk about all of that next week. So bring your week 1 content questions to our first Zoom meetup next week on the 15th. So all of week 1 modules will be discussed on the 15th in our Zoom meetup.
Yes.
Does that clarify?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, clear as mud.
Yeah, this is kind of week 0. This is week 0. You have from now until next Monday to execute the first 4 modules. Next Monday, you will discuss the first 4 modules and prep the next 4. So all of that is, so today's week 0, week 1 is Monday. Week 1 meetup is Monday. We are at the top of the hour. So what I would like to do is collect any super pertinent questions and then give you guys the rest of your day back. I know you've got things going on. You've got school pickup coming soon. People have to eat lunch if you're like me and you haven't eaten lunch yet. So let's collect the most pertinent questions here. I'll take about 3 more. And then for everyone else, we will reply to you in comments after the live stream. And we're going to give you our email address because you can email us anytime or chat in the WhatsApp. Let me see. Is our WhatsApp group going yet? Am I in it yet? Yes, I'm in it. Y'all, you are attacking this WhatsApp group. Oh my goodness. There's so many people in it already. I'm going to say hi. Hi. And then let me also say too that WhatsApp can be super annoying. So, please try to keep conversation there to a minimum after I'm like, hi, everybody. Very hypocritical of me, but please try to keep conversation there to a minimum. Think about what you're asking and formulate it into one message before you post that into WhatsApp so that we don't have, 10 alerts going off of one question and one edit. So you guys can move your conversation there. We will be there to answer questions for you. And Michelle, will you please do me a favor and in the chat of Restream here, make a post of how to join our bootcamp, how to join the Intuit course. And I guess we should probably go ahead and share the WhatsApp link to make sure people can just immediately get into our WhatsApp chat. And then from there, we can redistribute the links if we need to. All right, last questions. Michelle Douglas says, if you've been using QuickBooks for Business for billing, does that provide you any experience to count toward the work experience? That is a really good question. I think that's going to be a Tessa question. So let's give Tessa a minute to reply. I use it. We use it at VirtForce. We've used it since 2019. But I will say, I in no way feel qualified to go and do it for another company. In fact, I was like, I've got to hire a QuickBooks Pro person to come in here and help me with this. Okay, so Tessa says you would need to have fully charged. I'm sorry, hang on. They need full charge bookkeeping experience or the certificate through Intuit Academy. So full charge bookkeeping experience or the certificate through Intuit Academy. I'm going to take that as a no, Michelle, and that you need to go through the course and complete the certification. I'm sorry, you need to go through the course, pass the exam, and then complete the certification in the platform. All right, Michelle, do we have any other questions that need to be answered right away before we close our live stream? We good? We're good. Michelle says we're good. I'm going to bring everybody back on screen one more time just to wave and say goodbye. Thank you so much to the VirtForce team. These live streams, I don't know if you can tell, it's just a little challenging when we're taking questions from 3 different platforms. And we're doing everything live. So just a huge thank you to the VirtForce team for your backup and your support. And a huge thank you to Intuit, Mira, and Tessa for being here on chat. Let me give you guys just a little bit of details as we close out. I want to give you the links. So first of all, thanks for your questions. This has been a really engaging and fun live stream. You can sign up for the bootcamp at qbllive.respond.entreport.net. You can begin your application at bit.ly/VF-ICCBK042723. I have a feeling that those are going to be put in the chat right now. There you go. Thank you, Michelle. And this concludes our live stream, you guys. So first, I want to make sure that you know that you can check out Intuit's careers at any point in time at intuit.com/careers. You can check out Intuit on LinkedIn, which is a great place to go and check out company reviews and to go to see what it's really like to work for a company. You're just going to search for Intuit on LinkedIn. So that's linkedin.com/company/Intuit. And they are on Facebook and Twitter at Intuit. We also are putting a big emphasis on LinkedIn this summer period. And we're going to be doing a lot of education about why we want all of our military spouses and veterans on LinkedIn, and actually how easy it is to have a great standout presence there. So I encourage you guys to follow me on LinkedIn. I don't know if I have my link, but I will. Pretty easy to access. I'm linkedin.com/careergal. Put that in a caption for you so you guys can see it. Let's see here. We will be doing a lot of posting about that later this year. And then you can also follow VirtForce on Instagram and TikTok at VirtForce, and you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at MilSpouseBestie. So it's been really nice connecting with you all today. Have a lovely day. And if you have any lingering questions, please email us or comment below and we will circle back to it. Bye, everybody.